There is a story that has haunted the people for hundreds of years. The story of Oiwa, a woman who was betrayed, died unjustly, and became a ghost that never sleeps. From then on, anyone who mentioned her without showing respect faced terrible consequences. Oiwa is a beautiful, gentle woman who loves her husband, Yemen, a once respected samurai who has now fallen into decline. The two of them once lived a happy life until Lemon's greed arose. He was tired of living in poverty and he wanted to change his life. But that could only happen if Oiwa no longer existed. Aemon had conspired with another woman, Ume, the daughter of a wealthy family. If Oiwa disappeared, he could marry Ume and change his life. A sinister plan was hatched, and then a cup of poison was given to Oiwa. Oiwa sat in front of the mirror, her hands shaking as she held the medicine bowl. She took a sip, and then a terrible pain spread throughout her body. Oiwa's face began to peel. His eyes rolled back, his mouth twitched, his lips cracked and bleeding. The once beautiful face is now just a twisted mass of flesh. But the worst thing is the betrayal. Oiwa took the comb and scratched his scalp hard. A chunk of his hair and scalp was torn off. Blood dripped down, mixing with his tears. Yemen sat huddled in a dark corner of the room, his hands trembling as he held the cup of wine. His face was pale, his eyes dark from many sleepless nights. He always felt like someone was watching him. The window flew open, the wind blew in, making the curtains flutter. The candle on the table flickered, then went out. From that day on, Yemen could not live in peace. Every night, he heard whispering in his ears, bloody dreams, and Oiwa's dry voice whispering in his pillow. One night, as Yemen lay down on his mat, he felt someone lying next to him. A cold breath blew on the back of his neck. Then, a thin, pale hand slowly touched his neck. Yemen sat up, heart pounding, cold sweat breaking out. He looked around. The room was empty. But then, when he looked down at the mat, he saw the imprint of a hand on the mattress. He rushed out of the room in a panic, but the hallway suddenly seemed endless. The lanterns on both sides dimmed, until everything was plunged into darkness. Suddenly, from afar, a figure appeared. Long black hair covered his face. His white kimono was stained with blood. That person was walking towards him, slowly, step by step. A distorted face appeared. One eye bulged from its socket, the skin wrinkled and bleeding, the mouth wide open, as if wanting to say something, but only letting out dry groans. Yemon screamed, rushing out into the yard. But when he turned back, the house was gone. He was standing in the middle of a deserted field, shrouded in mist. Where was he? He didn't know. All around him was darkness and eerie whispering. But then he looked down and shuddered to realize he was standing on an old crumbling grave. The ground cracked open, and pale hands reached out from the ground, clutching his legs. Eamon fell, his body dragged into the mud. In his panic, he struggled. But then, a face appeared right next to him. A twisted smile. A dry voice rang out. "You betrayed me." His breathing was shaky. His body was thin and haggard. His eyes sunken from days without sleep. He was no longer a proud samurai. He was a cursed man, beset by his own sins. A cold wind swept through. The door to the room swung open. The curtains fluttered violently, revealing a figure standing outside. A white figure with long hair covering its face. Emon shuddered and backed away, but his feet felt glued to the floor. Cold air filled the room. He tried to scream, but his throat was tight. Emon knew that this time he could not escape. Oiwa had returned to demand justice for himself. A pale hand slowly rose from the floor. Then another. Her whole body rose from the darkness as if pulled from hell. Emon's neck stiffened, his whole body trembling. Oiwa slowly raised her head. One eye bulged from its socket, her skin wrinkled with a long scar. Her lips moved, as if she wanted to say something. Emon backed away, until his back hit the wall. There was no escape. He closed his eyes, but a cold hand touched his face, forcing him to open them. Oiwa leaned close to his face. One eye was white. One mouth was crooked, smiling slightly. Suddenly, she disappeared. The room became quiet again. Only the oil lamp flickered. Yemon was panting, sweat pouring out like a shower. He rubbed his eyes. He looked into the mirror. In the mirror, the reflection was not Yemon, but Oiwa's distorted face. She smiled at him. Yemon fell backwards. The mirror fell, shattering into hundreds of pieces. In each piece of mirror, Oiwa's face appeared everywhere, her eyes glaring at him. He crawled back, panicked, and stammered a plea.
"Please forgive me. It's my fault. It's my fault."
But no one answered. Only darkness was swallowing him. Iyemon fled Edo, wandering to a remote temple in the mountains. He begged the monks for help. Monks meditated around him, holding charms and scattering salt to ward off evil. A large candle was placed before Iyemon, its flickering light illuminating his gaunt face. But then, the candle suddenly went out. The whole room was plunged into darkness. There was only a broken mirror left on the floor. In it was the silhouette of a woman with long blood-stained hair, smiling a ghostly smile. Do you dare tell this story at midnight?